Hello, ni hao. We continue our course on modern ethnocultural interaction. Today we are going to speak about Tatarstan Republic and China. China is a country with peculiar history, culture, traditions and philosophy, which is represented by specific symbols deeply cherished and guarded by all Chinese. China is quite far from central Russia, but there is a great number of students from China in Kazan Federal University. The most recognizable and known China symbols in the world are the Great Wall, red flag with 5 yellow stars, dragons and giant panda. China's official national animal is the crane. Its national emblems are the Chinese dragon and giant panda. It is said that the astronauts into space has been reported that the moon's distance from Earth's observation be able to identify only 2 of the human project, one of Chinese Great Wall. The magnificent Great Wall is the ancient Chinese people to create, one of the wonders of the world. The history of the human civilization is also a monument. According to historical records from the Warring States period, more than 20 countries and the leaders of the feudal dynasties built the Great Wall too. Chinese calligraphy is a form of aesthetically pleasing writing. Calligraphy, or the artistic expression of human language in a tangible form. This type of expression has been widely practiced in China and has been generally held in high esteem across East Asia. Calligraphy is considered as one of the 4 best friends of ancient Chinese literature, along with playing stringed musical instrument, the board game Go, and painting. 4 treasures of the study, 4 jewels of the study, or 4 friends of the study is an expression used to denote the brush, ink, paper, and inkstone used in Chinese and other Asian calligraphic traditions. The name appears to originate in the time of the Southern and Northern dynasties. Chinese culture is very fond of 4 words couplets, and the 4th treasure is another example. 文房四宝, Bi, Mo, Zhi, Yan. The 4 jewels of the study, brush, ink, paper, inkstone. In the couplet mentioned, each of the treasure is referred to by a single epithet. However, each of these are usually known by a compound name: hairbrush, maobi. The individual treasure have a treasured form, each being produced in certain areas of China as a specialty for those scholars who would use them. These are called the 4 special treasures of the study. China has a very interesting food culture and drinking tea culture. A tea ceremony is a ritualized form of making tea practiced in Asian culture. The tea ceremony, literally translated as art of tea, in Chinese is a cultural activity involving the ceremonial preparations and presentations of tea. The Japanese tea ceremony is better known and was influenced by the Chinese tea culture during ancient and medieval times, starting in the 9th century, when tea was first introduced to Japan from China. The Vietnamese tea ceremony, also influenced by its Chinese counterpart, is only performed during weddings and other religious rituals. So tea ceremony first starts in China and then spread to Asia. At a very basic level, tea ceremonies are a formalized way of making tea in a process which has been refined to yield the best taste. In Tatarstan Republic, people also very keen of drinking tea, and this tradition came from historical background. the most complicated writing, a language in which there is no alphabet, calligraphy, a tea ceremony, and many other cultural traditions that are mysterious for us, attracts to study this country and its language more and more. China remains the main trade partner of Russia. Statistically, China became a leader among Russian trade partners last year. To represent China's trade turnover in general, it could be said 2 out of the 3 containers transported in the world are going either from China or to China. Therefore, it's evident that Russia is interested in the development of relations in a wide range of directions, including transit. As well as China started in 3 times saving in goods delivery and ending with new markets and renting of unused land of the Far East. The most important thing that joined China and Tatarstan Republic together historically are transcontinental corridor, West Europe, West China, Silk Road, and Vladimir Lenin, who spent some period of life in Kazan and even studied in Kazan Imperial University. His revolutionary ideas spread to China and he became one of the main ideologists of communism. More than 30 official reciprocal visits at the highest level were made between Tatarstan and China only since 2013. Cooperation has been established in the field of mechanic engineering, chemistry and chemical utilization of the natural gas, light industry, sport and tourism, education and culture. Moreover, Tatarstan is a developed and attractive region for China, which is situated at the intersection of east-west and north-south transport corridors. The Republic is situated in the heart of Russia, at the intersection of the most important traffic arteries connecting Europe and Asia. This fact grants Tatarstan a status of strategic beachhead for large-scale logistical projects expansions. It's no coincidence that Russian part of the transcontinental transport corridor, Western Europe, Western China, aimed at linking China with European and Middle Eastern markets, will run across the Republic's territory. Moreover, China is ready to invest in construction of HSR project Moscow-Kazan, which will serve as a potential vector for passengers traffic increasing in the region and in perspective will reach Beijing. Total cost of the HSR project Moscow and Kazan construction is more than 1 trillion rubles. Commissioning is scheduled for 2020. The line Moscow-Beijing in total is estimated at 7 trillion rubles. It is worth mentioning that Tatarstan's people are ready for the coming changes. Thus, the project of the Sviazhsk interregional multimodal logistics hub construction is prepared in the Republic. It also bears reminding that Naberezhnye Chelny is the second largest city of Tatarstan and the territory of the priority development. This is one of the Russian territories with the best tax conditions for investors. Remarkably, particularly the hire became the first Chinese company resident of the territory of the priority development Naberezhnye Chelny, which invested 55 million in Tatarstan economy. Warm relations between Tatarstan and China are not accidental. It is a result of long cooperative labor. For example, KAMAZ cooperates with China more than 30 years, including equipment supply and utilization of Chinese parts. Higher plant in Naberezhnye Chelny, the construction of ammonium mineral fertilizers plant, and of course the construction of high-speed highway Moscow-Kazan are among the last major investment projects in Tatarstan. A number of projects in electronics manufacturing, machinery, steel structures and under discussion and site selection. There are great opportunities. As a result, a lot of interpreters and translators are needed so that the number of students who study Chinese language in Kazan Federal University rapidly grow up. Kazan Federal University now has several specializations that deals with Chinese language, Oriental Studies and African Studies, specializations, history of the countries of Asia and Africa, foreign regional studies, economy of Asian and Africa, Asian and African languages. 2008 Confucius Institute were opened and successfully work until now. Collaboration with Chinese universities leads to growth of internship and scholarships. Thank you for your attention.